Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their Maga and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good morning, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. And we are in the lab for another dose of your morning coffee. And if you haven't gotten your morning coffee, go ahead and do so. Like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you can get them instant notifications. So when it goes down, you can be around. Oh, my goodness. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I figured I'd jump on in here real quick before I started my day. There's no better way to start it but with a great cup of coffee. But want to say good morning to Daryl McClain, Philip McNichol, and 6 others who are in the lab this morning. Let me go ahead and drop the link for you guys. Especially for you to get the link on in there for you this morning. And I guess we'll start it off where we get in, where we fit in. If you haven't heard by now, I'm the type of person when I hear something and it just doesn't sound right, I don't know about you, but my brain gets to work in overdrive. So I'm going to go ahead and play my first clip this morning. And we got Randy in the building this morning. I'm glad he was able to join me this morning. I'm going to go ahead and play this first clip, and then me and Randy going to get into it, because if this is any notion of what I'm thinking, oh my goodness. But we're going to go ahead and play this clip real quick, and then I'm going to give the floor to Randy, and then Randy can give me his 2 cents on where he thinks this is going.
From the White House with what we know about Secret Service opening fire to protect President Biden's granddaughter. Peter?
Yes, the carjacking and car stealing problem in Washington, D.C. is now extended to somebody with Secret Service protection. At 11:58 p.m. last night in Georgetown, which is about a mile and a half from where we're standing right now, Secret Service officers who are assigned to protect Naomi Biden, that's President Biden's granddaughter, Hunter Biden's daughter, opened fire at 3 people who were trying to steal one of the Secret Service vehicles. We don't know exactly what kind of a car this was, but according to the Secret Service, who just sent us a statement, Secret Service agents encountered possibly 3 individuals breaking a window on a parked and unoccupied government vehicle. During the encounter, a federal agent discharged a service weapon, and it is believed no one was struck. The offenders immediately fled the scene in a red vehicle, and a regional lookout was issued to supporting units. That means that somebody tried to steal a Secret Service car from the agents that were protecting the president's granddaughter, and they got away. They're still out there this morning. Back to you.
Wow, that's crazy. They got away.
I can't believe they got away, but I can't believe they would target the president's granddaughters.
as Ric Flair would say, woo! Good morning, Randy the Genealogist Rose. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing fine. Still working on my first cup of coffee, so I'm not quite awake yet, but we're getting there.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Randy. Now, normally when you see a government issue vehicle, you kind of know the difference. Basically, you kind of see U.S. government tags on them. You kind of can't see in the vehicle because the windows are so tinted. And the vehicle types are very selective to what they use. So it's my assumption that, one, they knew it was a government vehicle, because let's admit it, criminals can identify targets. Okay, they know grandma's vehicle, totally different look than what Sergeant Romanowski would travel in. Could they possibly? I watch a lot of TV, bro. And I've been watching these movies lately where the president's kids get kidnapped and for ransom. I'm telling you, this is just my opinion. Could they have possibly been trying to pull one of these movie masterpieces and literally kidnap the president's granddaughter or Hunter? Because if they get them, then they can really blackmail the opposition for whatever they want. What do you think?
Well, I don't think they. Well, first off, like you said, a government vehicle is very easy to identify because they always use the same damn model and make, all black, usually an SUV, and they normally have government tags on the back end of the car. Like the white U.S. government tags or something that identifies as being a government vehicle. The fact that it was parked, I'm pretty sure they knew that she was not inside the car. I don't think it was an attempt to kidnap the granddaughter. I think it's more of a, hey, here's a government vehicle. Let's break in, see if we can find a laptop, cell phones, that kind of thing, or take it for a joyride, and then leave it sit and burn somewhere. Let's face it, those who are of the mindset, they are attacking anything to do with the government. The police officers in New York City, the police cars are being set on fire. The total disrespect for anything to do with the government. So I don't think they're trying to kidnap the granddaughter, although I think they'll probably be on high alert for a while. I think it's more of let's see what's inside the vehicle. Maybe there's a gun underneath the front seat, or something like that. A laptop, whatever. They can steal and sell. But the fact that they're still loose, that kind of concerns me. You would think there'd be 1,000, well, not 1,000, but at least 100. Secret Service, FBI agents, whoever else, Capitol Police, hunting for those 3 people in a red vehicle. And there's got to be cameras in that area. So we'll see how long it takes to catch these guys.
They already caught them. No, they didn't catch them. They didn't catch them.
Yeah, because last thing she said was they're still on the loose.
Yeah, they're still on the loose. Ain't that something? All the technology we got, and these people are still on the loose. See, that's what I don't understand. Because you would think a helicopter would have got put in the air, what they call it, a perimeter would have been put into effect. Where are all of these logical, common sense solutions to problems that arise? That's what I don't understand. And like I was explaining before you hopped in here, well, I don't know if you hopped in here or if you just clicked in. You'd be pretty tired.
My hopping days are over.
But anytime I get a little information, it's like they try to give us enough information because they know they can't cover up something that has happened, but then they try to put their own spin on it. But I can go your way. It sounds more logical and more common sense to what you're saying compared to what I'm bringing. It sounds like they're more inclined to think something was in there that they could take and have an opportunity to steal, rather than to literally try to steal a physical human being, because that person would actually be surrounded with Secret Service. I would take it. But I just hate even hearing things that happen, because we've learned that once you get a bit of a story, you never can get the full truth out of it. So now you're going all these, different kind of crazy ways.
Did they identify the skin tone of these three people, or were they not able to say if they're white, black,
Well, DC is the chocolate city, so I don't think there's too many white boys walking around, in the city of DC trying to carjack vehicles. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I just didn't want to be racist and say there had to be black people trying to break into his car. Okay,
that's just my opinion. But it's crazy. But let me give shout outs real quick. Good morning. Oh, y'all are up early. GW Love, Judith Hall, Tanya Tofferson, Michael LeBlanc, Joseph Whitmore, Danny Welch, Jim Salomon, Cindy Crandall. Cousin Yella, Darren Hawkins is in the building. Brett Billich is in the building. Good morning, each and every patriot or patriot, whoever you consider yourself to be. Thank you for joining us this morning. We were just talking about the little mishap. Looked like somebody wanted to take a government vehicle for a joyride. I don't know why they would pick a government vehicle. What's next? They're going to start carjacking ambulances, fire engines. What's next? What's next? Oh, my goodness.
Well, you never know. I mean, they still have all those tons of explosive material that hasn't been found. It wouldn't take much to hijack a fire truck or an ambulance and load it up with the explosives and drive around places somewhere and blow it up,
Vin Trucking's in the building. Good morning, Vin. YouTube is in the building. Good morning, Mike. Rough week, Republicans last week. Liberal, I love it. Well, you should. You should. We all should appreciate a victory when we can find one or get one, no matter where it is, no matter what side of the squad you're on. Enjoy your victories, because you're also going to have to enjoy your agony of defeat also. So take both of those with the same energy. Receive them both with the same amount of energy. So now we have a mishap that has taken place over in the Med. We have 6 special ops people, soldiers, military personnel that have tragically crashed in a MH-60 Black Hawk helicopter accident. Now, they're not sure if it was during refueling or anything like that. And see, this is another red flag for me. I mean, I'm tired of hearing our highly trained military personnel not being able to operate their equipment properly. And now we have an accident that has taken 6 lives from our military over there. Now, the full stories haven't come out yet, Randy, on what actually took place. I want to hold judgment and try and put some belief in our government and say that they're giving us the correct information. I don't want it to come out later that this aircraft was taken down or anything like that, because if they had to come out and say that our aircraft was taken down, then that would put us smack dab for surely in the center, in the mix of it all. And I don't think they want to have to acknowledge that at this time. What do you think on that?
Well, I'm looking at the Army Times magazine online here. It's just talking about the Army Special Operations soldiers that were killed in the crash. Apparently, it was conducting an aerial refueling training when the aircraft experienced an in-flight emergency resulting in the crash. So it doesn't say what the in-flight emergency was, but they do say that a few months back there were two other helicopters, a similar make, that also had issues and crashed. It may be a faulty something in these helicopters. So you watch, you'll probably ground these helicopters and do a thorough check of all the parts and plugs and screws and nuts and bolts to find out what's going on. This could be the third one now within less than a year. Yeah. So I can't imagine how you would fuel a helicopter in flight without the hose getting chopped off by the props, but I guess there's a way of doing it.
Well, yeah, they have those the long extensions that come out.
Well, I understand that, but I'm talking about the props, the blades,
Well, they come out from the bottom. If you look at them, they're like right under the nose. They come out right under the nose, and then the one that comes out the rear comes out the bottom of the tail thing. So it's well below the propellers.
Maybe someone lit a cigarette during the refueling process. Who knows?
I don't know, but we have to sit back, and now we have to wait in anticipation of the
you probably won't hear anything for a few weeks.
But and now I don't know if a lot of people out there have been paying close attention to what's been going on. I know you probably haven't, to what's been going on with the Donald Trump trial in New York. Well, actually in Georgia. If you were to watch the news, you would swear up and down that Donald Trump is really in trouble. Now, on one hand, he is, and I'm going to explain real quick. The only way Donald Trump is in trouble is because this is something that I never knew could happen, and it can, obviously, legally. The judge in this case has total authority. There's no jury. There's nothing. He has the authority to recuse himself or not recuse himself. He has the authority to find guilty or not guilty. And we see how much of a biased judge he is. We see how Letitia James is biased. You would think this lady has crime out there she should be taking care of in the state that she represents. But she's more involved with doing photo ops. But the Trumps have came out on this thing squeaky clean. First of all, Ivanka Trump's testimony was never supposed to be allowed to come into question. The appellate courts already deemed her testimony not valid, because everything she was going to testify was past the time of, what do you call that? The time frame, 7 years. They wanted her to answer specific questions from 2011, bro. And no matter what she said, the appellate court already said she didn't have to testify. So everything she is saying is really null and void to this case. But it's not going to come out that none of this matters until after the fact. You see the game that they try to play and perpetrate on the public.
Yeah, it might also be a ploy to. I mean, come on. I know she's young, younger than us, so her memory should still be in pretty good, condition. But
statute of limitations. There we go. Thank you.
Maybe they were, hoping that she might say something more than what she testified before. That would renew the statute of limitations. Maybe they're hoping that she would slip up and let out new information, or to say something that she didn't say before, so they can say that she lied in the last testimony. Yeah, they're probably hoping that she would screw up somehow, that they can bring more information into it. But for these idiots, they don't care about the statute of limitations. Okay, I mean, to them, they're rewriting law. They don't give a shit about the law that's already in place. They just want Trump. They want his family. They want him broke, and then that's all they're looking at.
We need to understand that no matter what Trump is going through right now in the present, the appeals process, the last stop, I've always told you guys years ago, the last stop is the Supreme Court. So why are we really going through this? You have to sit back and ask yourself, for a man that's being falsely just drugged through the mud, to only be vilified at the end of all of this, why are we going through this? Why are we going through this when our country is in the middle of a war? Why are we going through this? Listen, let me show you this clip real quick. And if you don't think we're in the middle of a war, we're not on the brink of war anymore. No, we're not. We are smack dab in the middle of it. And if you don't believe me, let's just see some punches we throw
here in Iraq and about 900 here. And they basically sit there and duck and cover. You have a lot of guys with some head injuries from the concussion of the strikes and from the missile defense knocking these strikes out of the air. But if you look at these strikes, look at this. So 14 hits in Iraq, another 5 here in Iraq. You have the one here, another 5 here in Iraq. But we've chosen, I don't know if it's a deal with Baghdad or not to hit back any place but Syria. The most substantial strikes are the last 2 strikes. 6 or 7 people died. We were able to surveil this for a while. First, it was here.
Okay. Now, for all you people that think we're not in the middle of this war, when you throw the first strike, you have committed yourself to a war. We're in it. Smack dab in it. But this is, and Randy, piggyback me on this and let me know what you think. Why do they come out and try to convince us of how many people they've killed? And the only reason I say that is because this man, Brian Kilmeade, had the nerve to come out and say we killed 4 to 6 people. That right there You see, I don't know about a lot of y'all out there, but I follow narratives closely. You notice how it jumps from hundreds down to single digits quickly when the blowback is you're killing too many innocent people. So all of a sudden, this massive airstrike, but they only kill 4 to 6 innocent people. How do they know? That's my thing. How do they know? Because they pinpoint it.
Well, one thing, when it comes to combat, this goes all the way back to the very beginning. It was always about numbers. The commanders always want to know how many dead on the enemy side, how many dead on our side, how many were wounded, how many prisoners. It was a tally game. They wanted to know how well they were doing. So it's like you said, initially it was a 3-digit number for the dead, and now it's less. Because the blowback is, you got those on the left saying, "Oh, you're killing innocent civilians. You're killing, the children." And now you're starting to see video coming out from the other side showing, mothers carrying their dead or wounded children, or you're seeing the bodies of the civilians who were, caught in an explosion from a building coming down or something like that. So now you're starting to see the video because, the enemy knows that, American citizens, as soon as they start seeing death and turmoil of innocents or children, all of a sudden they know that they'll put the pressure on the government to, pull back or to stop or to even remove themselves from the combat zone. So that's why you're starting to see that. And the government knows that if they're telling the truth about the number of innocents, it's going to reflect. So they're now starting to say, it's actually smaller. We got a better account. We got boots on the ground. We're able to count bodies, whatever. But the damn satellite system they have. I mean, they can pinpoint anything. So they're probably using satellite to justify the damage to the buildings and so forth.
If they can pinpoint anything, how come they couldn't pinpoint the Hamas attack? If they can pinpoint anything by satellite, how come they couldn't pinpoint on their satellite shit coming down through the air that didn't make no sense? If they because that's technology. That's what technology can do. We have 15 objects, unknown objects in the air. Let's find out what these objects are. That's what satellites do.
Right.
So if you mean to tell me you can't pinpoint 15 objects flying through the air, but you can pinpoint 5 or 6? No. See?
I understand. Well, what objects flying through the air? You lost me on that.
Remember those people that came floating down on the beach?
Oh, yeah, those.
Satellites didn't pick those up. Technology just doesn't work when it wants to. Bro.
I will go on this side. You're probably going to have a Hail Mary here, but okay. I believe that the United States and I believe Israel's knew that Hamas was going to attack. I believe this was their Pearl Harbor. They knew they were coming. They knew where they're going to hit. They allowed it to hit because that way it gives Israel the reason to attack in force to what they're doing, and allows the United States to come in with our military to give support to our ally who was horrendously attacked by this secret attack on their people. I believe that was their Pearl Harbor. I believe they allowed it to happen. And and now they're and that's what I believe. They allowed it to happen. So now they have the excuse, to kill as many as they want.
I got something for you.
Oh, you got me a gift. Oh, thank you.
And you can't never find it when you want to. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to piggyback off of what Randy was talking about. We were just talking about technology and things like that. CNN and AP have cut ties, and this is with the New York Times, have cut ties with photojournalist that was embedded with Hamas after photo shows journalist with grenade. Come to find out, photojournalist was an activist. Actual video footage. And it goes back to what we were just talking about. Did they have advance notice of what was going on? Because it's coming out now, and I haven't put my own personal show together about this yet, but you bet your bottom dollar I will be. It's starting to come out now about this situation. Did they have advance notice? A lot of the video footage was instantaneous on the ground. A lot of the coverage wasn't necessarily, they're saying, from bystanders, but were from actual journalists. And this is something that I just started hearing over the weekend that I'm going to dive into and find out about that. But like Randy was saying, man, it is beyond belief, at least to me, what people will do to further a cause. It really is. It's beyond belief what people will do to further a cause, especially when there are answers that remain unanswered. It leaves the area open for hypotheticals and what they like to call us as conspiracy theorists. But what we found out, us conspiracy people, if we just give it enough time, and enough light is shed on what we consider to be a conspiracy, the actual and the factual actually comes to light at the end of the day, no matter what it is. So we just got to keep praying. We just got to keep praying. So we're going to move on to our next topic. And this is the title of it today. And Randy, you're going to go ahead and take away on this. It's Trump versus Biden, cross-examination, fact versus fiction. Kind of touched on it earlier. When it comes down to it, and if you haven't had it, Forbes, go to Forbes on YouTube. They show a lot of the airage and the coverage of it. But they're killing these people. They're killing them, and mainstream media won't allow you to see it. They'll just keep feeding you their narrative. But on cross-examination, all the facts are coming out. The truth is coming out. Undisputable, undeniable. And he's going to be found, I was about to say guilty, but then I just reminded myself of the judge being fully in charge. What do you think about them putting a gag order? They can come out and say whatever they want to say about Trump. But now he has 2 gag orders. One put on him and now one put on his attorneys. So they're handicapped. And the American people are seeing it because his numbers keep going up. I don't know.
Yeah, I know they have the gag order on him, but, you know, he said something the other day, and they hit him with a $5,000 fine for talking about it. The people aren't stupid. You know, they don't want Trump and his attorneys talking about what's going on inside the courtroom, and he's damn well going to do it. So somehow, somewhere, he's going to get the information out as to what is going on inside those courtroom. And then these people are starting to see it. You know, they're talking about how, the judge and and that ghoulish smile he had when he was looking at the cameras, and the judge saying that, you know, I'm not here to listen to you, meaning Trump. The news people are actually starting to report some of the actual factual, using your words. And like you said, you know, the poll numbers keep going higher and higher because the American people see the fallacy of what's going on. I think when it comes down to it, in the very last day of the courtroom, the judge is going to say you're guilty. You know, that's their intent. And no matter how much information comes out that proves the opposite, that judge is going to say you're guilty. And it's going to be up to the attorneys to, you know, come back and hopefully get a good judge on the appeals. I just think, you know, even the attorney herself was talking about it after the one day where the judge told her to sit down and shut up. He said, I have never been talked that way in any court proceeding. You know, how dare he? And then hopefully Congress came out and made a comment about the judge. So I can only hope that, you know, between the lawyer or the Congress, that they, you know, that judge and the DA get straightened out and allow the truth to come out. But I'm sorry, I've become very pessimistic in these past couple of years, and unfortunately, I'm going to say that, you know, the judge is going to find him guilty, and Trump's going to have to go to the next step to prove he's innocent. They're trying to play this out long enough to get to the election of next year, and if Trump manages to get that far, I've said this before in other shows. All that is left now for the left is for them to assassinate Trump. And I still think that's on the books as the last resort.
And to a lot of that, I would say ditto. I would say you're right. I'm starting to think of this, Randy, as something totally different, because I don't know why I think this way, but I believe at the end of the day, they know Donald Trump is going to be acquitted and all of this is going to be overturned. So that makes me have to look at a bigger motive, a bigger agenda. With them knowing that, could they just be trying to keep the American people distracted as they're doing a good job of it, to just allow them to get us embedded into this war deep enough to where we can't pull back? Because what the American people aren't doing right now is being proactive to what's before us pertaining to this war. What America is doing is setting us up to be reactive, such as Pearl Harbor, such as 9/11. We are slowly watching America die a slow death, and we are doing nothing about it. And when we decide and try to do something about it, the deck will be stacked against us. So I really believe all of this. Watch the glittery shit in my left hand so you don't see what my right hand is doing. I think that's what this boils down to. I think if the American people would get focused off of what's going on with Trump and all of this other stuff that we have going on, which is very hard to do, and understand that if we get implemented into a world war, everything that we're dealing with here at home will do nothing but expand. It will do nothing but be bigger than what it is. Look at our streets today. Look at our streets today. Right now in London, you have over 300,000 anti-Israeli protesters marching. Anti-Israeli. And here in America, you have them popping up all over the place. So
You only have them popping up in Democrat-controlled cities because the government in those cities are allowing it to take place. You know, when the new NYPD police officers are getting stand-down orders, Veterans Day, okay, Veterans Day, they allow the damn people in the streets to rip down the American flag, to destroy and ruin statues and so forth, and to raise the damn Palestinian flags and all the other flags, and they allow them. They are essentially shitting on the veterans of New York City and across our country by allowing that to take place. So the only places that you're seeing the anti-Israel rhetoric are in the major Democrat-controlled cities, because they are not, the government of those cities are not standing up for the citizens of those cities, and they're allowing it to take place. And they're going to be sorry for that. Like I said the other day, I think it was on your show, when you have 100,000 or 300,000 out there on the street, yeah, it's a peaceful protest, but it wouldn't take much to ignite into a violent protest to where they just start breaking and looting and destroying on a major level. And to not have the police or the National Guard in place at the time of these protests to come in after the fact, it would make no sense. It's almost like the governments in those cities want the destruction of their own cities, and that makes absolutely no sense to me. Well, I mean, what do they gain from it?
Well, you see what's happening to Eric Adams, right? Eric Adams is the first one out of all of these sanctuary cities across the country. He's the first one to, now for whatever reasons he was doing it, he's the first one to start barking back at Biden about the illegal immigration, the border situation, and everything that's going on with his city. And do you notice how now the FBI is all on Eric Adams' ass? First, they went after his girl, his public. See, because no matter what you believe out there, if you are playing for the team and you are playing your position, you are untouchable. You are untouchable. The moment you step out of pocket and you go and you dare go against the grain, you will see how quick you can become enemy number one. And Eric Adams, you was talking shit, and I say shit because I'm on YouTube and Twitch. You was talking shit for years, months, because you was riding on Joe Biden's coattail and you was untouchable. But then you started going with your constituents and barking about this illegal immigration shit, and now look at you. FBI's got your phones. They took your girl, your aide person, say she did something. See what happens, Eric, when you go against the grain, bro? You thought you was untouchable. Now they coming after you. Because you know why? They're going to find something that's going to make you not be the mayor no more. And they're going to make sure they put somebody in there, this is my opinion, that's willing to play the ball game, because they don't want to lose New York City. They don't want to lose New York. And if the mayor starts barking a different tune, they know they're going to lose it eventually. So, Eric Adams, you have now become enemy number one, bro. I never thought they was going to put FBI beside your damn name. But guess what? You un pissed off master. Yeah, you un pissed off master. And he about to put you back in your place.
Yeah, I agree. You know, as long as the mayors of these cities, walk in the line, a very thin line to keep their mouths shut, the Democrat Party is going to watch over and protect them. But, he's starting to realize she's losing control of a city with all these thousands of illegals coming into a city and needing a place to live and needing food. And, the kids have to go to school. They can't leave those kids, walking the streets. So we got to get them in school. But now we need to get, people who can speak Spanish so they can teach them, in their own language. He's starting to see his budget being chewed up by the cost of all these illegals. And he came out talking against the party. I need help. We got to stop this. We got to turn these people back. You got to close the border. All this other kind of stuff. And now, like you said, he went against his master, and master saying, "Oh, you're out of line. Get back in line, or we're going to do this." And here you go. You got the FBI after him now. The FBI, unfortunately, has turned into the tool of the Democrat Party, and they no longer have, the love of of the citizens of the United States, because you can't trust them, And unfortunately, those who are still, in the FBI, who are still doing their job according to their oath, they're all being thrown into the same, pot of bad eggs. It's, but yeah, like you said, you go against the master, and this being a Democrat Party, they'll throw you to the wolves.
And that they are doing. But yet, Randy, we find ourselves having to continue to live through this. Where this ends up, nobody knows.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares, because at the end of the day, no matter what, when this is all over and this is all said and done, there's going to be a lot of damage that has been done, whether it be on a national level or a global level. There's going to be a lot of damage control that is going to need to be done, because we have not yet seen the darkest days.
Mm-hmm.
We have not yet seen the darkest days, and America is going to feel the brunt of it. America is going to feel the brunt of it because we have the most to lose, but yet we have the most to gain. I appreciate everybody for tuning in on today's show. I appreciate Randy for tuning in and coming in on today's show. Randy, I'm going to go ahead and leave the last words up to you on the platform, and then we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here.
The United States, for all its problems, for all its black marks through history, is still, for some reason, a nation where people want to legally come to and even illegally come to. The illegal part has different, players, some who just want to get here and have a better life, and whereas others being played to come here to bring in drugs and sex trade and so forth. But the United States has a lot to give, a lot to offer, and I think there's still hope, but unfortunately, we have a government that for whatever reason is hell-bent in getting us into a massive war, whether it be in the Middle East, whether it be in Ukraine, whether it be Taiwan and China, or, you know, God knows where. But the heart of this country is in the citizens who truly still believe we are a beacon for people to come to. And it's up to us who still hold that deep love for our nation and for what we have to offer to stand up and try and start putting things back into order so that we can be that light. You know, that, you know, this, you know, the statue in the harbor of New York says, you know, bring me your broken, bring me your children, and so forth. We are still a country of hope, and I hope that's will maintain for the next 100 years.
Well, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, I want to thank you for another great episode of In the Patriots Lab Mega Monday. I guess I will be back tonight, 9 Eastern Standard Time, to see where we are in progress. There's a lot of great things going on. Want to also give a shout out to Mama Mona Miller and her great convoy rally that they had on in Branson, Missouri this weekend, and all the other festivities that went on. Just keep our nation in prayer. I mean, that's all we can really do right now. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of things that they're throwing at us at the same time, a lot of things that they are not putting at the forefront. And just use your noggin. Just use your noggin and use some common sense, use some logic. At the end of the day, hopefully everything will turn out okay. So from Ray, Randy, the genealogist, Rose, here at the Patriots Lab, we thank you for joining us for another great morning coffee. So in the meantime, in between time, deuces, we are out.
Take care.